Hello, Hums Vlog viewers! So today I had off for Columbus Day. Thank you, Chris! I've had a few jam sessions with Eric and a couple of other people in different genres. We've played jazz, and then for the past 2 days we've been playing prog rock. If you know what that means, it's tricky stuff. But everyone's sounding really good. Speaking of which, there's a little audio segment at the end of our jam session to prove that it happened, because I was highly anticipating it. What else have I done recently? Got banana chips. But anyways, I'm going to tell you about a once-in-a-lifetime event. My English class is basically studying poetry and lyrics. And it's really cool because the homework and the classwork is just to read poetry and analyze it sometime. And we were looking at the sound of poetry and the rhythm of it versus the literal meaning. And so we checked out this guy named Rashad Eggleston. He graduated from Berklee in 2003, and he's a cellist. But he's no ordinary cellist. What he does is he has his cello, and where the spoke comes out at the end to put it on the ground, he puts a guitar strap, and then he loops some string around where the neck meets the body, and he's got this pink fluffy guitar strap that he puts on his cello, and he walks around and jumps around. Literally, he jumps around while playing this crazy epic cello stuff. He's also got a certain style to him, you know. He wears a Peter Pan elf hat all the time. And in the videos that I see of him, he's usually wearing very boldly colored tights. So after I had done my research on this guy and had read his poems for English, I anticipated a very interesting conversation to go down in that class that day. And when I got there, we started to talk about it, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that guy was interesting, very, yeah, yada yada yada." But the teacher, after we talked about it for 30 seconds, he was like, "So, Rashad is here today." And everyone knew this guy was kind of odd. So they were all looking around, creepily, seeing where he would jump out of. So then, this guy, and the elf hat, and ragged clothing, jumps into the classroom. And he's got the cello case with him, only at Berklee. And mind you, even though he's kind of unique in his own way, he's played in clinics and taught professionally across the nation. He's toured professionally. He's played with Yo-Yo Ma. He's legit good. And basically, he was the teacher for 2 hours. We did nothing else but listen to him talk about his poetry. He sang a couple songs for us. He played crazy epic cello stuff. This is the motion for cello, by the way, I suppose. And he talked about how he believes in these mystical realms of his imagination, and that he doesn't create them. It's they already exist, and he's discovered them. And he told us all about all 4 of them, because he's had various stages of his life where his thoughts have been in these realms. The first one was jark, but jark is evil and malevolent and scheming. And then secondly, he found snee, which is the opposite of jark. Jark is all evil and malevolent, and snee is all, hey, frolicking through the meadows, snee. But then after snee, he discovered sneth, which is dark, but not quite as dark as jark. It's along the lines of ominous mystery, as opposed to sheer evil. But then he's left sneth in a way, and his new realm of choice is Jick. And he described Jick, and these are his own words. It's the look of a Jick beast who suddenly remembers Jick. But even though this guy was seriously out there, he still had some pretty cool ways of like looking at things that normal people could apply to poetry and music and stuff. Then afterwards, he was still chilling around, and a couple kids and I went up to him and we were talking to him for a little bit. So I shook this guy's hand, and we were talking about like how he got into the cello and like what he's doing in Boston. He's on tour right now, I suppose. I made small talk with this guy, so he knows my name now. And he before he left, he was like to everyone, all right, Facebook, and I found him and can technically add him as a friend, but I'm kind of afraid to. So basically what I got out of that, the first thing I thought was, this guy is so selectively unique. He's an electric cellist with a Peter Pan hat and tights, and he writes nonsense songs. But he makes a living off of this. He tours all around the country. He's been around the world, and he enjoys every second of it. And that gave me hope for myself, because if there's a niche for someone so selectively unique as he is, then there's got to be some place in the world of music, or the world in general, for me. But then later on, I was also thinking, well, maybe there's only room in the world for people who are willing to be totally off their rocker and make weird music wearing weird clothes. The clothes and the hat, maybe. The cello, But anyhow, this is a vlog about ukuleles. So, we are taking a road trip to my previous escapades this day at Guitar Center. So here we go. Before we leap ahead, I'm going to say I did not buy any of the instruments that I play. Here you go.
Ooh, look at the pretty ukuleles.